San Elmo's, you know San Elmo's.
Oh yeah.
We just shot a video there. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's like a dream studio.
I know,
It's like so huge, and then there's upstairs like all these costumes and stuff. I'm actually working on a project. I don't know if you've seen it, because Sam's doing this Fool's World thing, where he's doing like a comic book type thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like Sin City-ish?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
right up my alley.
So think clown steampunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love steampunk. I have a steampunk script.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
I almost sold it at one point. And back when it was a little bit more popular, it's still popular. But
yeah. Why do you think it died down?
I feel like it got a bad stigma. I know, like, the steampunk bars, everybody was making fun of them. And
Really?
Yeah. I started noticing it. People were making fun of it. Like it was a... Because I feel like Westworld is steampunk, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way to...
But people don't classify it that way.
No. Yeah.
You know Dave Wolf, the guy who owns St. Elmo's? He told me a funny story. He said he coined the phrase sci-fi western. You should ask him about it, because he like swears by it. I'm like, I wonder if you could prove that.
Yeah.
Like, if you could, you should.
Wow.
Because it was something with his music.
Okay.
And so he published something or put something out using that terminology.
What kind of music is sci-fi western?
Yeah. The guy is he's so talented. He's done so many different things. I was like talking to him about something with Dale Watson. He's like, oh yeah, I recorded an album for him one time.
Wow.
like man, you're really
big time.
in the know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they always get some pretty big
They do.
brands that go and shoot like commercials and stuff there.
Yeah.
How many times have you shot at Elmo's?
That was literally the first time.
Oh, really?
So funny, because I worked with New Republic Studios.
Okay.
The Spiderwood is what it was before, and I'm still good friends with Tommy Warren, and I introduced Tommy to the new buyer. Yeah, I met the new buyer at a taco stand. True story.
No shit.
Yeah, and I was like, you gotta meet this guy, like, because he was saying he was gonna build a studio in Georgetown, and I was like, well, before you do that, you should go and
Like, you just randomly met him there?
Yeah, it was the day. So my sister was in a car accident.
Oh no.
And passed away the next day.
I'm so sorry.
And I think that's what pushed me to really. I was like, well, let's do some networking with this guy. But my brother had met him whenever they were just visiting randomly, and at Christmas. And my brother talked to the guy John Robinson, who ended up buying the studio. So I know it's kind of a story, because I really was like, I want to. I got his info, and I kind of was thinking, oh, this guy's probably just some crazy. He said he was a producer on Suits. So I was like, well, that sounds legit. You know, I'll maybe call this guy. I got his number. But then when that happened with my sister and my brother got severely injured, he's okay now. I was like, oh, I'm going to call this guy.
Yeah.
You know? And then he ended up being legit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he bought the studio, and he's doing a great job. Mindy Benson, who was TXMPA, still works with them. She's a badass. She's amazing. You would love her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is
she's
she?
the president there.
Oh, wow. That's
so she's
cool.
like basically the head of the studio. John has pushed, a lot of the building, and she's running the basically the day-to-day.
Wow. So, like, what kind of productions do they do in that studio?
It's kind of like, it reminds me, kind of like what St. Elmo's is.
Okay.
But they do bigger commercials. They do HEB commercials. They had Sister Amy, which went to Sundance recently. They just shot there in the back lot. Because the big difference is there's a 200-acre back lot along the Colorado River.
Oh, wow.
Out in Bastrop. It's in Bastrop.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you should go out there.
I've only been to that ghost town thing.
I know, yeah, I've shot there many a time.
Yeah.
Too.
It's such a cool space.
It's
like,
so cool.
I can't believe just like anyone can go on there. I think the first time I was there was for their haunted house things, or like they had a quest night, like a Dungeons and Dragons type thing. But I didn't know that it was just like open to the public off season too.
Oh, they're super friendly. I went to check it out. Somebody told me about it for my steampunk thing.
Oh, cool.
It all goes full circle.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I did a really cool proof of concept. I can show it to you. You'd like it.
Yeah.
It's your kind of style. It was like very green screeny. It, like, looking back, I wish I'd shot it differently, but it was for a promo. So, but yeah, she just let me go out there and just shoot stuff. And
That's so cool. I would be so devastated if that was like torn down all of a sudden.
I think it's safe.
How long has it been there?
It's been there as long as I've been here, 10 years.
And where are you from originally?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Which part?
I grew up in Greensboro and then moved to Wilmington. I actually still keep in touch with a lot of the people I met at Wilmingwood. And it was right at the end of Dawson's Creek, so aging myself a little bit.
Oh, is that where Dawson's Creek was filmed?
Yeah.
Really?
The very last season, I moved there.
Wow.
And then moved away, and then went to school, got my master's in Roanoke, and yeah.
And what brought you to Austin?
That what I was saying of the relationship.
Oh yeah.
I was getting out of a really bad marriage because I got married way too early, young, 23.
Oh wow, that's younger than me.
It was ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking. It was like a different life. I was a youth leader.
Whoa.
It was like a different life. And but yeah, I was like right in the middle of school and get my master's for screenwriting and film studies. And I was like, I need, now that I'm out of this relationship, and it didn't work out, I need to go to LA or somewhere, like that. And I went to a party. This girl actually had just done a film here in Austin and was saying how great everybody was and the scene was so good and Robert Rodriguez was doing so well. And I moved out here, didn't even know. I went on Craigslist because I saw I could afford it. That was the reason I made that decision, Austin over LA.
Oh yeah.
And,
but now it's not. It's like a mini LA.
Now it's not as affordable. Yeah.
Right.
It really. I probably wouldn't have done it again. But yeah, it was. And it's funny because it was off of Mesa Drive where you are.
That's crazy.
I know, it's a small world. And I was there for like a year or so, and then the guy sold it, and I was like, well, where is everybody at? Riverside. And it was something I could afford at the time, and yeah, I like Riverside. I like it because it's right there near downtown. Yeah. You can see everything.
You got Town Lake.
Yeah, Town Lake. I run on there all the time.
Nice.
And my rent's cheap, so it's totally worth it because it's cheap. Sometimes dangerous. People say, "Oh, it's not that bad." I'm like, "You don't live there." Yeah, I believe it. It's dangerous. Yeah. There's been a lot of hit and runs where somebody died literally right outside my apartment, and it's not safe. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that that's the case, but I mean, the police do a good job. That's good. Yeah. I'm sure it's like one of those things where, as long as you keep to yourself and you're not out at an unreasonable time. Yeah. Well, even then, because I'm always out late. Oh yeah. I go to the gym. There's a gym right there, and I love working out at night. The Planet Fitness. So, yeah, I just watch myself when I'm walking around. Yeah. Because there's a lot of college kids doing stupid things. So. Yeah. And I'm sure with those scooters too. Yeah, they're everywhere. I still have never done one. I can't believe because I walk a lot, and I take the bus. Me neither. They scare me, and they kind of make me nervous too. Yeah, especially when you're driving and they're just like a pain in the ass taking up the lane. They're like flying at like 10 miles an hour on the sidewalk. Exactly. Then they just leave it. I'm just bitching right now. Yeah, no, I work downtown and I see it every day, and I just want to like trip them or something. They need to do something about it. I want to see these Vespas that everybody keeps talking about that look pretty cool. And they're probably more expensive. I'm hoping that it'd be great if they made some kind of law against the little limes. They're rentable? Yeah, I just read an article about it. Oh, okay. I think they said it was going to come out for South by. So. Oh, you know what? I heard about that. Someone said they're like the sitting scooters. Yeah. Yeah. They look like little Vespas. I mean, they look cool. So, and they don't, the scooter. That's my problem with the scooters is, they're dangerous, but they just look so tacky. And people just throw them down. Yeah. I'm like, why? How is the city allowing that? I know. It's like littering. Yeah. Yeah. I've almost tripped on those things. I've seen them in the road. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the world? Yeah. It's like people just leaving trash out. Right. Well, before you keep going, because I always have this problem, we should formally introduce you. Okay. Today on my show, that sounds weird. Today on my show. We have Ben Snyder. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, of course. Director, photographer, screenwriter. Yeah. Jack of all trades. You also, you had a podcast. Filmmaker, kind of. Indie filmmaker. That basically covers the whole. Yeah, you kind of have to be a little bit. What was your first love? Screenwriting. Yeah, 18. Really? I wrote it when I was 18. And that was a steampunk one? No, that was a Yeah, because it was kind of like they say, write what you know. So I wrote my life up until that point.
Cool.
It's actually, I ended up rewriting it later because it obviously wasn't, it was my first thing, so it obviously wasn't good. But it had moments that were interesting, like my relationship with the principal, who was like my real principal at the time. And I went back, it kind of turned into a little bit of a Catcher in the Rye-ish kind of thing. Still, like the screenplay I ended up turning it into, I really like. And I would love to make. So, yeah, that was my very first thing that I wrote. And that kind of got me into, like it was right around the time, again, dating myself, when Ben Affleck and Matt Damon won.
Oh, yeah.
So they inspired
Good Will Hunting?
me. Yeah, for Good Will Hunting, yeah. And so I got inspired to write a screenplay. I was like, I'm going to do like them, and I'm going to write a screenplay. So
nice.
It's like 18 years old.
And so you wrote your life all the way up to 18? Wow.
Basically, like, it was really more about high school.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I showed it to a friend of mine, and she was like, so it's basically like you and just a bunch of girls, like you hitting on a bunch of girls. I'm like, man, come on. I did a funny story. I did Project Greenlight. That was Ben Affleck's thing.
Oh, okay.
Matt Damon's thing was like a contest. So big thing. Uploaded it. Took me all night to upload the PDF because it was dial-up.
Oh shit.
So that's how old it was. Yeah. And and then what they would do is like the old days of the internet. They would different people would critique your work, and if enough people liked it, kind of like LA, it would go to the next level. And I had a bunch of critiques, and it was like, I realized, I was like, man, I maybe shouldn't have written something so personal, because it was like they were kind of like dissecting me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, guys, that's me. I wrote about myself.
Right.
And I was like, that's when I realized, like, I need to. It's good to be personal, but not like a diary.
Yeah.
So the new one's not like that. It's not like a diary, but it is based on me in high school in a way. So it gives it like a reality.
Okay. So if you can have anyone play you in that who would it be?
Oh, I thought about the kid from Stranger Things, the one with the overbite.
Oh, okay.
He's curly hair.
Yeah. I could see that totally.
Perfect for me.
I could see that.
And I wrote it in a way, the character, the way I changed it. I was kind of a little bit of a punk, but I was also really shy and nerdy, obviously. And I feel like that kid could play that perfectly.
Yeah.
And he's young too. And and I've thought about the principal. I would cast Chevy Chase.
Oh.
Make it like kind of dark, know, but very comedic.
Right.
But because the script it's like a comedy, but it's more like a little bit like Rushmore, where it's like you ever seen that? Wes Anderson, Austin guy.
Oh,
Austin.
really?
Yeah, he went to Texas State.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or no, UT.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He did Bottle Rocket, but his second film with Bill Murray was called Rushmore. And it was about a kid that went to a school, and kind of similar kind of story.
Cool.
But I feel like a lot of people have written stories like that, where it's like,
I think it's a good like introductory to like getting into writing.
Yeah, me too.
How else can you like tap into like feelings and situations unless you've experienced it? You know.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage kind of thing.
Right.
To
Exactly.
high school.
Yeah.
Coming of age.
So how many have you written so far?
Screenplays?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I'd written a few for other people that I sold, but not for very much. But 10,000 was a lot to me. And some people here locally, and then I'd say like maybe 20 that I've written.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm trying to produce this one now called Hard Water. Excuse me. And it's like a border thriller.
Okay.
So I kind of wrote that when I just moved here into Texas and kind of saw what was going on with the border. And I wrote that. It's been a while now. And then, but yeah, we just recently got Danny Trejo attached to it.
That's so cool.
We paid
How
for
did you even
connect?
Yeah.
I used to do this event, kind of like what you're doing with the podcast.
Okay.
It was called The Show. Charlie Hodge, he did the radio years ago. Anyway, he was one of the hosts one time. But I would meet all these people.
Yeah.
And so I made a lot of connections that way. And Tommy Warren, who previously owned Spiderwood that I was telling you about, he introduced me to somebody basically, and he connected me. But we still had to pay for it. it's called pay or play.
Wow.
So it's like you put it down, and if it doesn't happen, you lose that money. But we're gonna make the movie. So.
And what kind of genre is it?
It's a thriller.
Okay.
And
is he gonna be a villain?
He's gonna be the bad guy. Yeah, which is a little bit on the nose, but I always pitch it as No Country for Old Men with strong female characters.
Okay.
Because the story is this girl from the guy had grown up in Mexico, like on the border. I think like on the way to Monterrey, something like that. I don't know how familiar you are with Mexico, but on the way to Monterrey, and he went to school up in Connecticut and met this beautiful blonde kind of Barbie. I think like Gossip Girl, Blake Lively kind of thing. And so Lorelai Linklater's playing that, Richard Linklater's daughter. So she's playing this Barbie that comes down to visit the mom, and the mom instantly doesn't like her because the girl's kind of vain and she just seems very aloof.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of moms, she just doesn't feel like she's good enough for her son. Well, the tension that starts out with this kind of domestic thing escalates when somebody who has stolen money from Danny Trejo, basically his character, comes on the house, is running away. In the confusion, the son gets shot, and the son dies slowly over a little, half of the story. And the two women that just hated each other from the get-go have to overcome that, and they have to fight side by side. It's kind of like Straw Dogs, if you ever saw that, but the women are the ones that get out. And I wanted to do a story where you always see these stories where women are like fashionista, kind of like badasses, which I like. I mean, I'm guilty pleasure. I like those kind of movies. But I wanted to do one almost like a Sarah Connor kind of thing. And Laura loved that. And she's just tough.
Yeah.
And she gets a lot of she gets the shit beat out of her. Bad things happen.
Right.
And but she gets out of it. And it's basically her new companionship with this strong Mexican woman that makes it possible for her to get out. So it's really, the story is about the two women bonding and overcoming, but it's kind of in the backdrop of this thriller, which is topical right now with everything going on.
Yeah.
So, and I wrote it like a while ago, but now it's like perfect time.
Yeah.
To produce it. So we're hoping West Texas, probably shoot a lot of it here in town, probably at New Republic. And yeah.
Wow, I'm excited. And so when do you think you're still
hoping
waiting
this summer.
on
Okay. I'm hoping. I really am. I was hoping that I would, know, like I've got a lot of things, like I'm not going to say we're greenlit that we're shooting, but we're close. I mean, we already got some attachments already in place. The lead, Yareli Azmindi, she was in Like Water for Chocolate, if you ever saw that years ago back in the 90s.
I've heard of it.
It was like an Oscar kind of thing. She was great in that. So she's playing the lead. She's basically carrying the film with Lorelai.
Cool.
So, yeah, we're excited too.
Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah,
so you've got that coming up. You just got done shooting that music video.
Yeah, over at Sonoma.
Nice. And and you also did that video for the Butthole Surfer.
Yeah.
Is it was it actual Butthole Surfer or a side project?
It was so cool. It was for a band called ThinkNoThink. It's John Dowie, really great guy. Actually, one of my investors for Hardwater helped me, kind of recommended me, which is always good to have good recommendations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do music videos to pay the rent, my bread and butter. And this was a rock band, and so he had told me, he was like, I think this guy's gonna come. So the premise was he's being operated on because the song was called I Don't Want to Be a 9-to-5er. So it's kind of like this punk rock kind of thing, not like against day jobs, but a little. So, and I was like, I'm in, and so we did like bad doctors and bad lawyers. So we had like the lawyer scene, and then we had the doctor scene. It was like guts over the lead singer. You saw that stuff?
It's so cool.
Yeah. What's her name? Savannah played a model that's always downtown. I think I met her on 6th Street.
I don't think I know.
She was like a go-go dancer at what is that place called? Used to be Vice. Oh, Terminal 6. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know quite a few.
You probably know her. She's a go-go dancer.
Face,
pretty prominent.
Yeah.
So she was in it.
Wow.
But this guy, Paul Leary, he's a lead guitarist, was their producer. So John had invited him, didn't know if he would come, and so yeah, we're supposed to do another one. Gary Clark Jr. may or may not show up. Probably just jinxed it.
With the same band?
Cool. They're really cool.
And I saw that you were in an article too. Was it the video that made the article?
Yes. Well, no, it was a song.
Oh, okay.
It was they basically were talking about the video in the article. There was 2 of them. Yeah, they basically were talking about the fact that Paul Leary was in it.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, and he's an icon. I mean, I grew up on the Butthole Surfers. Pepper.
Yeah.
They were also in the Romeo and Juliet
soundtrack. Yeah. Wow, you're bringing me back.
I know, right? You seen that? Have you seen that? The Baz Luhrmann one? No. You haven't seen it? You like it? Your aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's so great. See, I was in high school, so I was just like, I saw it I think I saw it like 3 times.
I should see it.
Oh, you should definitely see it because the aesthetic is just so good, and Leo is great, like young Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, he was really good.
You're talking about Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I did see it. I thought you were talking about like something else for some reason.
Oh yeah. No, the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah, that was like the movie that made me fall in love with him.
Yeah, he was so good. Yeah, and Claire Danes, and it's a classic movie. But yeah, no, the Butthole Surfers were in that soundtrack, and I think that's how I heard about him. And then I heard Pepper. And, high school Ben.
Yeah.
Takes me back too. Yeah, it was cool that he came. I was glad that we shot that. Yeah.
So, what are your influences with music videos? Obviously, movies. Right?
Yeah, obviously movies. I'm very cinematic.
Yeah. Do artists usually give you the song and they already have an idea in mind, or do you kind of paint the visual for them?
It depends.
Yeah.
I do a lot of hip hop. I don't know how I got into that, or like we were talking about with Sonny. Yeah, hip hop is a little bit different than the regular rock. Yeah, he kind of came. John had an idea. He knew kind of what he wanted, what he didn't want too. So I've learned to be really flexible. But then, yeah, sometimes they come at you like, can you do a treatment? I used to like to do that. Like I did that on the Sony one. That was when he was in. I kind of came up with the idea. But I remember they were like, it's cool, but they didn't feel like it was them. And I've learned that ever since. Like, just make sure it's them.
Yeah.
Especially when they're paying you.
Right.
Like if it's my project, no, I'm going to make it how I want it. But if they're paying me, I want them to feel like, 5 years later that they're going to share this and feel like this was me.
Right.
And I felt like maybe when I would do a story, it was a little bit more of what I was trying to say.
Yeah. More
than what they were trying to say. So that was something I learned from doing music videos for hire. So
yeah. And you just transitioned to hip hop, but you've always done rock before?
Yeah, I would say I did hip hop kind of first with music videos, and rock was always off and on. And recently I've been doing a lot more. Like I've got in with these guys.
And you're with Bizarre Production?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've kind of teamed up with this guy, Eric, and so we've been working together. It's been great. So it's always good to have partners. Yeah. And make things happen. But I've been kind of flying solo for so long. I'm like, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But I'm trying to, look at it more from a business perspective. My focus is always this feature. So if I was really thinking from a business perspective, I wouldn't be focusing on that. Right. It's not really a smart business decision. Yeah. It's just something that I want to do. That's what I went to school for. That's what. So.
But movies is what you primarily wanted to. And
that was always the goal. Yeah. And music videos kind of happen after. Yeah. Yeah. But I enjoy doing them. I would definitely recommend it to anybody that was aspiring to do, because I did so many short films before I moved to Austin. And I did a web series that I met a lot of people through.
Oh, nice.
It was a vampire series. It's an interesting story. It was a vampire series called Bleed. You can check it out. And we got on this thing called Strike TV, which was during the writer's strike, 2007, something like that. And got a lot of people looking at it from that. So it was really cool. And it was kind of before, I shot the pilot before the Vampire Twilight came out.
Oh, yeah.
So it was more inspired by Interview with the Vampire. So, and then it was a comedy. It was kind of like Clerks.
Okay.
The premise was almost like it was almost like they become vampires on accident.
That's cute.
And, yeah, it's very cute. Cute's the right word. Yeah, I think you would like it. It's very 90s and just like I remember the premise. It's a buddy of mine from college wrote the first episode, and it's just so Clerks. It's so funny where he's like, I met this girl. She's kind of goth, and but the thing is, and he like says she's a vampire, and the guy's like, so are we going to this movie, right? You know, he doesn't believe it, and then you meet the girl, and it turns out she really is a vampire, and they become vampires, and like whenever the one guy's gonna turn his friend into a vampire, he's gonna bite his neck. So I have this. It's funny. It's fun to watch it again. I was like, I can see why people got into it because he tries to bite his friend, and he's like, man, this is kind of gay. It was like, I couldn't do that now. It'd be a little bit weird. People would be like, what? But it was, 2000, whatever, 5.
Yeah.
So it was like funny back then.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how much things have changed?
Big
and
time.
it's only less than, well, no, that's more than 10 years, but.
Yeah. I feel like they changed all in the last 5.
Yeah.
It was the end of the Obama era and then the beginning of the Trump era. It's a lot of politics, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, censorship is censorship. I'd kind of go with the flow.
Right.
But yeah, I hate it because some of my old stuff, I'm like, oh man, I didn't really stand the test of time. I can't believe that. That's like not even that long ago.
Yeah, I know. It's like you have to tippy toe around certain topics.
Mm-hmm. I don't. But yeah, you do. You're right though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to, take the blowback. Mm-hmm.
Well, so let's see. You're meeting up with someone. Are you filming anything for South by?
Yeah, I got a couple gigs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, probably a couple live shows. I've got a fashion show that I'm shooting on
Really?
the 16th. It's up on
Nice.
Pflugerville.
Okay. Is it one designer or like a huge compilation of?
I should know more about it. I have the flyer.
Okay.
It was a friend of mine, Damo, or she became a friend of mine, that I shot years ago that moved to L.A.
That name.
Dominique Simone.
Yeah, I've met her. I remember her.
Yeah, I'm filming her. She said she wants me to do a confessional, so we're going to do a...
Oh, wow. But she's in LA?
Just for this week, she's here.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So when you do stuff for South by, like, what do you follow artists around? Like, what kind of video work do you do?
I've done different
around this
things. I've done a lot of recap videos. I remember I shot Snoop Dogg one year.
Nice.
That was fun. I always like getting invited to those things. So, and I've shot some interviews before, that kind of a thing.
Do you get, like, a special badge for press?
I did one year. I did this year. I didn't. I didn't even try.
Yeah. Do you have to pay for that, too? Or show credentials?
It's usually, I was working for this company, like when I was working for New Republic, I was hoping I'd do it with them, but yeah, I just didn't really. I was just like, I'm just going to do my own thing. I did that last year, so that is a good way to go, though.
Yeah.
Because it can get you in more stuff. Yeah, I worked for this tech company 1 year. That was neat. I had the platinum badge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was doing stuff with them.
So you just, like, shoot around their booth or something? Or?
It was, yeah. Actually, that one I didn't end up shooting at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was
but you got the badge, though.
It was a great South by. Yeah, it was like a lot about going to the panels and making. I was doing. Yeah, I know. It was one of those things. It was an experiment. I got hired to do it, but it was music licensing. So I was helping with placing music in film.
Oh, cool.
So I was using my
That's neat.
network with that. It was great. It was cool. A gig while it lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how those things go.
Yeah. Well.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I do know that. But then again, I also only my boyfriend is my only team. So with most of my art, though, I don't really do for hire. Like, I just do it for fun.
Well, how do you do your photography? You charge for that, don't you?
Well, it depends on the project. Like,
I was going to say you should.
I know.
It's really
like,
good.
if I approach the model with a specific idea, like, I feel like they're bringing my art to life. But things that I charge for are mostly, like, family portraits, you know, things that aren't really that creative for me.
Yeah.
So.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a few of those. And that, yeah, because it's the more creative. Oh, these chairs. The more creative, I'm the same way. I'm like more willing to do, just to do it as a kind of trade.
Yeah. Plus, I don't like. I know this sounds stupid, but like being paid is nice, but I also don't like the pressure of like having to be done by a certain time.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
That's what my new partner, it's really hard to explain that to him.
Yeah.
Because he does TV installations and stuff. And I'm like, you're right. I got to get paid. But, dude, it's like,
yeah.
you kind of, when you love doing what you're doing, sometimes it's about, you know, having a really good thing for your portfolio. Mm-hmm. And that's super important, you know?
Right.
So that's something that's valuable to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, but he is right. I got to think about money. Got to think about,
and then sometimes
value yourself.
Yeah, I know. I got to keep telling myself
Yeah.
that. Eventually
We
I
should
will.
support each other.
I
on
know.
that. Yeah, so your work is definitely top notch as far as your creative stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sure you could charge and not, you know, make a price that's not, you know, too much for people.
Like, there's also this guilt because I feel like I'm taking work away from
other artists.
Yeah, from other artists.
Totally knew what you were going to say. I feel the same way.
Yeah, but
I even feel that with the music videos sometimes. And I'm just like, man, I really wish I could do this.
But time is money, man.
Yeah. When you just can't do it. After a while, you just wouldn't be able to do work anymore. So.
Yeah, and I feel like if I...
Equipment's expensive.
Like, I don't think people understand.
Yeah, I know they don't. They don't get it.
I mean, you guys can go to JCPenney or whatever and get your family portraits done, but they charge up the ass and they're still not, like, creative.
They're not creative at all.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's a whole different
it's a whole different
rant.
Yeah, photography is a different thing, too.
Yeah.
That's why I would never say Ben Snyder, the photographer. But I do it for hire. I mean, I have charged before.
Yeah, and you're the DP, the director of photography for...
Exactly. And that's the only way to really... The more people you have to pay, the more it's really worth it. But if you can just do it yourself and just be the one, you know, the one-man show, it becomes a little bit more doable.
Yeah.
And the bands tend to like that a lot of times because it makes you more flexible, makes the shoots faster.
Right.
I've gotten really good at running and gunning, so, and sometimes it's hard to explain to them whether, like, they see something on VH1 and they're like, dude, that was a huge set. I mean, we could do that, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
And the money's not going to go to me.
Right.
It's going to go to all this stuff that we got to get, all these people that we got to pay. And if you can afford it, there's a reason why people charge. If it was that easy, nobody would be doing it. Everybody would just be running and gunning.
Yep.
But it's funny, like, the looks on their face, I can tell they're kind of like, well, but maybe this other guy. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yep. And then there's also post-editing, and that's a whole different beast.
That's kind of, I feel like that's my strong point.
Really?
Yeah. I don't enjoy it as much, but I don't know. I get the best feedback. I don't think my shooting is the best.
Really?
Yeah. I'm hard on myself with that.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's so many people that are so good. And I just feel like it's better when I have a DP. When there was this kid that used to be in town. I learned so much from him with camera stuff. Like, he's just a technical mind, and Diego Lozano.
Okay.
He's a great kid, and I learned how much I didn't know because it was all the technical aspects of it. Because I would like, you know, get the settings right and I would shoot it, but I wasn't being as technical as I needed to be on every shot because I was running and gunning so much.
Yeah.
I got used to it.
Right.
But he was like so meticulous, and I would look at his work and I was like, whoa, big difference.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, sometimes subtle differences, but sometimes big differences because he took the time to make sure he had it perfect. And I'm like, yeah, I strive to get to that.
Right.
But it's hard when you're running and gunning because you're just like,
yeah.
And half the time, you know, to answer your question about do the artists come up with their own ideas, sometimes they're coming up with it on the fly. And that's how they like to work. Like the one we just shot at St. Elmo's, he told me that was the way it was going to be. And I knew that. I knew how they were.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys just, you know, it was his birthday. I was like, just have fun, relax.
Yeah.
I'll make sure everything's in focus.
Yeah.
And so it was a good shoot. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's having that authentic, like, genuine energy and not like faking it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's the same with like filming, but like with photography, you can tell when someone's like amping it up too much. It's like, just, you know.
So I tell people, go ahead and smoke.
Be yourself.
It's not
like,
unprofessional.
yeah.
You're the talent.
Right.
You know, you're not holding any gear. You're not doing anything that's going to hurt anybody if you're a little tipsy. Like, it's better to be relaxed and than to be stiff. And if you're the talent. Yeah, because a lot of times I almost feel like music videos, like that one I shot at St. Elmo's, that was almost like a photo shoot. It was like like a video version of a photo shoot. Because it was looks, it was more fashion oriented.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's different types of music video shoots, and that I've done a few of those.
What is your favorite, like, part of...
favorite type of music video? Yeah. The story ones. There was one I did where we put a car mount on. Basically, it was a short film. Because that's, I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I do music videos, but filmmaking is my passion. Storytelling is my passion. So anytime, and I try to constantly push this to big artists, like, let me tell your story. That's the way I call it, a narrative, or they always call it skits, or they call it different names. But I'm like, no, let's call it like a movie. I'm gonna make you a movie. That's the way I pitch it. That's what I like to do. And I like, a little bit of dialogue, some sound, some storyline.
Really, like, captivate the audience before getting into the music.
Yeah, to the music. Yeah. And so that's my favorite. And every once in a while I'll get a band that lets me do that. I kind of did it with these guys, Lars and Taz. They're with a band called Blaxploitation. And I did a video for them, but that was like more of their punk rock thing. But this was their solo thing, and I'm really excited about it. She keeps swearing to me that it's going to be noisy or something big, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm excited to see. She's great. She's Wolf Shield Records. Okay. She's the they own like a studio out at South Austin, like a sound recording studio. Cool. But yeah.
Nice. Good yeah, I don't know a lot of music people in town.
It's a different world. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure with this podcast, and that's kind of like my whole, objective is to bring other types of artists in here.
That's a great idea. No, I really appreciate it. Yeah, it was cool that I saw what you were doing with Sunny, and I was like, oh, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And I know that you hit me up before about doing like a photo event.
Yeah.
Like
I know. I still would love to do that. With that guy, because he had all these screens. They were like flat screen TVs. And then we would put the pictures in them and have them kind of play.
Oh, cool.
I still want to do it. He's just so busy. He's like partial owner of Castle Hill. He's a really connected guy.
Okay.
But we had talked about kind of doing it for fun.
That's a great idea.
I'd still like to do it.
I've actually, I've always wondered how come more bars in town, or, at least downtown, they don't have, well, they're going to have sports on the TV, of course, but have some, art or something, like something local.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, all you gotta do is put their IG handle in the corner, and rather than like having, it's like coffee shops, they have picture frames and stuff, but if you really want to but like cycle out different art monthly.
I thought about that like at Buzzmill. That would work at Buzzmill, because they have really good ads. Whoever does their work is really good. But it'd be cool to maybe have every once in a while showcase an artist.
Yeah.
Because they seem really art friendly.
Yeah.
I go to the one on Riverside.
Wait, what is it called? Buzzmill?
The Buzzmill, yeah. Half the bartenders are like in some big band in Austin. Yeah, Mike Wiebe, he was in Riverboat Gamblers. I always see him behind the bar. Oh. It's so cool. It's like, he's like a really successful musician.
Oh, really?
Locally, yeah.
Did you by chance go to the Austin Music Awards?
Oh, I wanted to.
Okay.
Dave told me about it.
I was there.
Was it? Was it good?
It was pretty good. Like, we left maybe an hour into it.
Oh, you left?
Well, it was my first time going there, so I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know that like all the winners were already like selected. So it was basically just them redeeming their award and a little speech and stuff.
It's an interesting format.
Yeah. But it keeps it moving, you know, and then they have performances in between.
Part of the fun is seeing people excited when they win.
Have
you ever gone to the Austin Music Video? Mm-mm. That one's fun.
Where's that at?
They did it at that place. They've done it at different places. They did it at Vulcan Gas Company, and then they did it this year. It was right on I-35, that place that's right on I-35 and 4th Street.
Oh, like
name
North Door or something?
Yeah, it's like the North Door. It's
Okay.
the one right down the street. Or
Yeah, on the corner,
on
right?
the corner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
It was great. It was really cool. My buddy Diego won. He came from Toronto to he didn't know, but he didn't know he was going to win. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's going to win.
You want that reaction.
Yeah, this makes it fun.
Yeah. Like even when we were at the award show, there was one category where Willie Nelson won, and I was like, he's not here, and of course he wasn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were a few artists that weren't there, and they would show up on the.
And that was true at the thing too.
Yeah.
But I know those guys. You should have him on, Jeremy Roy. He's he does that. He can tell you all about it.
Nice.
He'll have you there, I'm sure.
Well, I would, if you can pass my name along to anyone.
Yeah, because he said they're excited about next year, and it's a fun time, and it's very Austin centric. A lot of Austin artists, and mostly music video, obviously, but there's a lot of things that bleed over.
Yeah.
With a lot of photographers that also do music videos, like me, and a lot of people that do painting as well that also do music videos. So
yeah, it's a small world.
It's an art town.
Yeah, for sure.
Bohemian.
Yeah. I was going to ask you something. It totally slipped my mind.
The novel?
Well, yeah, we can get into that now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was excited. Like I was promoting stuff. It's like I really wanted to finish this novel. I really wanted to be done with it, but I just.
How many pages?
I have over 100, almost 200, but I need to edit.
You do your own editing?
I have now. I'm still at that place. I probably could. I'm real bad about. I got really too into. I got a bunch of models. We shot the pictures. I loved the pictures, the promo, and I got more into the promo than I did the finishing the novel.
Oh no!
I was so disappointed in myself that I did that. I ended up rewriting a lot of it too because the premise was it's this girl. This female director who also does pedicab in Austin. It's a nondescript city, but it's Austin.
Yeah.
And she has this hard drive that she's put her movie on, and it's gotten stolen from her DP, or again the camera guy, who's also a drug dealer, who's also a DJ. Everybody has a slash.
Yeah.
And
AKA.
he does like sex parties and stuff like that in Westlake, kind of thing. Nice. And he gets, basically. There's something on that hard drive that somebody wants. So it's like this thriller, but it's really a satire, kind of like The Player.
Okay.
And basically all hell breaks loose when she's trying to get this thing back. She only cares about her film, but the thing that's really valuable to the people is they could care less about the movie. They're just looking for this one little part on the hard drive. And so it's kind of like a metaphor. Like you're the only one that cares about your shit.
Yeah.
And but it was funny. I was writing it from her perspective when I first started writing it. I'm like, Ben, you're not a woman. This is not going to work. Because I was trying to do that voice. I think it worked for a little bit, but then I was like, so I switched it up, and there's basically the director who's trying to make her movie and doesn't really realize that she's kind of stepping over and using people basically. And then you've got the camera guy / drug dealer or whatever, who's just really slimy and doesn't mean to be, but really has gotten himself. He's in the underworld. And then you've got this bar owner who's inspired by the guys that used to own. I don't know if you were here when Plush was here and all those bars that got shut down.
Plush is gone now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been gone for a while.
Really?
It's something else. It's something else.
Because I go to Barbarella's once in a great while, but
not Plush. Pure. Yeah, Plush.
Okay.
Plush is still here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Plush will be here forever. I know. Yeah, that's like a staple. It started with a P. Pure. Okay. Yeah, Pure was the name of it. Yeah, but it was like apparently cocaine or whatever. They accused him of being a part of Hezbollah, which wasn't true. But that was like the kind of not the ISIS, but they were kind of like terrorists.
Oh, okay.
They accused him of basically being terrorists because they were from Iraq or they were Middle Eastern. So I kind of made a character loosely inspired by that.
Yeah.
And so you got these different people. What's your typical kind of people that you see in Austin in the nightlife? And basically wrote a story around that.
I would read that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll send you the stuff. I actually I was like, screw it. I'm getting the domain again because I had it ran out, and I'm like, because I was really gonna push it last year. Like I thought I was ready, but then I had to rewrite it. But it came up like, do you want to renew? And I'm like, that's $20. So I have the domain name. So I'm gonna put the novel, the first 3 chapters, the rewritten ones, which you'll love the pictures.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, so you're doing photos like for
of the characters.
The story. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's cool. It's like you'll like the pictures a lot because it's very Austin and character centric. And
yeah,
I have these things called cinemagraphs. I don't know if you've ever done any of them yourself, where it's like you basically in Photoshop where you take a video and then, but it's like really like a picture. You shoot it like it's a picture. It's really good to do reflections or like lights blinking, and then you erase. You put it into Photoshop, and then you erase. So I can talk to you this way because you know the technical stuff. But you take that part out. That's the video that'll loop, and everything else is a picture. So it almost looks like kind of a Harry Potter kind of thing, where it's like I have this one where this girl's standing in front of Hotel Vegas, and the light's blinking, but it looks like a picture.
Yeah. That's dope.
And I had this really cool one where there's a guy, in the reflection, he's turning his head.
Oh, you showed me that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's my favorite. Because I was like, oh, yeah. Because it's hard to come up with creative ideas of things you can loop. Because you always do the typical stuff.
Right, like smoke.
Yeah, and I've done a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Those are super easy. I usually even just bring in like fake smoke.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that way. But yeah, it's cooler when you're creative with it. But it's like, you got to think of something. So yeah, I got a few of those. So I feel like it'll be a cool selling point of the novel, and it's a way to kind of promote it.
Yeah.
But I need to finish it.
What's it called?
Hard Drive.
Hard Drive. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like the hard drive. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the Danny Trejo movie again?
Hard Water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they both hard?
It's funny. I know, it's true.
Walk Hard is your next one.
Walk Hard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey, that's what everybody always says. I look like John C. Reilly, the guy who's in that.
Oh yeah.
Whenever my hair's curlier.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Because sometimes I wear it curly. Yeah, people always say that. That actually happened during South by one year. Everybody kept coming when I had that platinum badge, because I guess they thought, well, maybe he's here and he's got a platinum badge. And people would come up to me and like they would show me like a Getty Images, like, is this you? No. And then finally these young cute girls did. I'm like, yeah. Bad. It's like that's my South by story.
Nice.
Of John C. Reilly.
I wish I could look like someone.
Yeah, who do you look like? You do look like somebody.
No.
Yeah, you're like...
Someone told me I look like Pocahontas. Okay.
What?
Yeah, I know. That doesn't even make any sense.
That's like borderline. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a compliment, I'm sure, probably from there.
I guess it's kind of nice that I'm unique.
You're like a badass Pocahontas with the shave.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about doing an Aladdin type photo shoot, but me as a genie.
Oh, that's interesting.
And like putting blue light on
like
me because of my hair.
That's a great idea. You should do it.
I know, right? Like I really want to get a lamp or you know, and put like a smoke bomb in it.
With the Will Smith thing, that'd be a good
Don't
time.
steal my idea now.
I know. Exactly. These photographers will too.
Right.
They totally will. They'll be like, it's an homage.
I hate that. Well, not to go back to venting, but like when people post photos of inspirational photos, like I want to do a photo like this, but like your eyes immediately think, oh, is this your photo? But it's not. You know what I mean?
Yes. The same with music videos. There's a guy that, I know I'm not going to call him out, but he posts stuff. The longest time I'm like, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
And I met him around.
But if you don't read that caption.
And it says, repost. I'm like, man, you know what you're doing. Because I really thought, I was like, man, you're really good. Like, you're really good. No, he's good, I'm sure, but he's not. Because it was like, he's posting all the best work. It's kind of cool for those artists. But then I was like, you should probably tag them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You can't repost without tagging people. Like,
yeah.
I've had that happen with my stuff sometimes. People will post it. I'm like, well, tag me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you share it. It doesn't bother me, but just tag me. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram is its own thing.
Yeah.
I've just started getting into it more.
Me too, actually. Probably like within the last 5 years.
Me too.
I got heavy into it.
Well, you got into it before me then, because I'm literally like a year in. And because before I started using it like it was a Facebook, and then I realized I was like, no, this is completely different.
Yeah, I like it though. It's very visual and.
Yeah.
I like stories. Like it's better.
I like stories
because it's like then I know who my real followers are, who actually want to see my shit, not just because it's on the feed, you know.
And I think everybody does that too. They go to see who's looking at the stuff. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's good to know that. Mm-hmm. I mean, Facebook. I feel like Facebook is always taking. I guess they even own Instagram.
They do.
But it's like confusing because you're like, well, I want to put my stuff on Facebook, but I want to put my stuff on Instagram because I want to do that too.
Yeah.
I try to link them up, and I'm like, well, it's redundant.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
The whole thing, social media. You got to do it though. I've gotten work out of it before.
Right? I mean, it's a good jump off, like, or starting off. Because didn't we kind of meet each other online through a group? Like, was it?
I think so.
Like an Austin Photographers one.
I feel like it was. That. Or we were drunk downtown. I still think I was telling your boyfriend. I was like, I feel like because it was around the time we were going to do that photo shoot, and you were like, yeah. Like, but maybe it's somebody else that I was doing a photo shoot. Who knows?
Which we still have to shoot together.
Yeah,
by the way.
Let's do it.
I don't model as much, not anymore, but nowadays because I'm so busy. But
maybe we can do a cinematograph.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm downtown, I like doing stuff during South by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? Because some people don't like it because it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that like to go during the day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know that all the
fun,
the good shit happens late at night.
But there's good stuff that happens during the day too.
Yeah. Like, I like to stroll around and not be like so crammed. And
that's why I'm going to do that tomorrow, I think, because I remember one year I thought there was going to be nothing the first week because that's not music.
Oh yeah.
But then I saw the Bates Hotel one time. You always see the things they build that are promoting for the movie or something or a TV show, and then they tear it down. You know, they tear it down within 4 days. That
just reminded me, Jordan Peele's premiering Us.
Really?
During South by. Have you seen the trailer?
That was tonight.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, it looks. I mean,
sick.
He is so good. I think he's probably like the new kind of Spielberg, like the new name,
like the new
voice.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, maybe more like Tarantino than because I love his stuff, and then I want to see the new Twilight Zone too.
Yeah, because Quentin Tarantino not retired, but like he said after 10
films,
he was done, right?
But he's doing that Hollywood one, which that looks amazing. It's a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I haven't heard of that.
Really? Mm-mm. Oh yeah, Leo's in it.
Oh really?
And it's the first time that Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt have been in a movie together.
They weren't. Oh, that's right. Okay, I was like, no, that was Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, he was in it, but Leo was in Django Unchained. Yeah. And but yeah, it looks really cool. They play like stunt driver and a stunt double that lived next to Sharon Tate, who was killed by by Charles Manson. So it's kind of it's kind of loosely about the Manson murders.
Oh wow! When is that set to come out, or is it just rumor?
No, they did that was based on I read an article about it.
Okay.
They had pictures and everything.
Wow.
So they've already done production. Yeah, I'm a fan, so I keep up with that stuff. But yeah, who knows? They haven't done the trailer yet, so who knows what it's really going to be like. That's because when they first announced it, it sounded like it was going to be about Charles Manson. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like he said it was going to be the closest thing that he's done to Pulp Fiction since Pulp Fiction, which I'm in, because that's my favorite that he did.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Like I like some of the other ones, but Pulp Fiction's that's art.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Yeah.
The storytelling in it, the writing, the visual aesthetic, because sometimes this visual kind of it's like, okay, all right, you're Quentin Tarantino, we get that. But
yeah. What was the one with Death Proof? Did you like Death Proof?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it. I thought the acting was interesting.
Yeah.
The 3 women.
There was some really slow parts.
It was definitely slow, yeah.
Yeah, like too much talking and whatever.
Too much of the Quentin Tarantino dialogue,
Yeah. It it got exciting towards the end when Kurt
I agree. It wasn't my favorite either.
Yeah. And what was the other one? Because I remember it was like a double disc DVD that it was on. Not Death Proof, but the one with what's his face? Rodriguez dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Robert Rodriguez did Planet Terror.
Yeah. Okay. So that wasn't Quentin. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
But
and he was in it. He played a kind of a bad guy in it.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that. Of the two, I like that movie better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rodriguez is great. I mean, he's like, and talk about all the stuff that he's done for Austin, the city.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just an amazing person.
I remember I went to that one.
And I haven't seen
the pedicab garage downtown where they filmed Machete.
Oh yeah.
I think it's still there, right?
I think so.
It's where the Prince mural is painted.
Yeah.
On the east side.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Machete was fun. And that was like a fake trailer.
Yeah.
Talking about Danny Trejo.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Have you met him before?
I have we're supposed to, hopefully. We'll see this week.
I heard I've seen him.
I'm going through my guy. You know.
Oh, okay. He's really cool.
And Andrew, one of my producers on it, is friends with him.
Oh, really?
They work together. He's on a film called Margarita Man that he actually plays a college dean, which is the kind of roles that he's been wanting to do.
Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
Wanting to do that?
Yeah. Oh, well, here's the thing. He's doing a thing with Will Smith. Will Smith is executive producing, and it's ABC, I think, picked it up. It's a sitcom loosely based on him, where he and his granddaughter or daughter, he gets out of prison, and the family, his parents had left this inheritance, which was a taco stand, because he has his taco stands, and but the catch is they have to run it together, like a family. So it's a sitcom. Looks great, and so that's supposed to be coming out soon. So yeah, we're really trying to hope to get this film out kind of around that same time.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be big if that really takes off.
He's already big though.
He's huge. I'm lucky that I'm so glad that. Yeah, but yeah, making a feature is hard. That really matters.
What made it? What made you?
Names.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Were you eyeing Danny Trejo for this part this whole time?
We knew that we had to have some names, and we're still looking for one more. And we're still trying to lock that down.
Who are you hoping for?
Gosh, there was a list. Yeah, I don't want to say because I want to lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of now that we're at the point where we're almost greenlit with the money and everything's good. We will be able to get whoever we need. But we needed to have somebody like Trejo at the beginning. They call it building the package. So we were able to do that from connections or whatever. But yeah, we need to have one other name for the distributor. So yeah, probably somebody like that. But it's trickier and trickier to get somebody because there was a lot of people we were looking at and they were like, no, that name's not enough. I'm like, man.
Really?
And it was like hard to even get to them.
Wow.
So yeah, like I said, hopefully, I'm really hoping that around April I'll know that we're ready to go and we would shoot in July. That's what I'd love to say, but we'll see.
How long would it take to shoot a movie like this?
25 days is the shoot schedule that we have.
Oh wow.
We've already done the breakdown. We're all ready to go.
And you have like locations and really?
Yeah. There's like West Texas. We're going to shoot some of the stuff.
Do you need a permit to shoot?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, and that's all why you have to have everything in place to pay for it. And yeah, I'd like to shoot some of it at New Republic Studios, like I said. But yeah, we'll lock all that in once we know everything's a go. And it's premature to really start talking about it. But I was like, we got Danny Trejo. I can talk about that. Yeah, it's part of what we paid for. So.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm excited about the fact that he's going to be a part of it. And Lorelai's fantastic as well. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for her. Yeah. Because she was in Boyhood, but in her dad's film. But and she's done a bunch of other films. But I think she's going to be great in this. So I'm really excited to work with her on that. But yeah.
How many actors total do you need?
Yeah, we're still casting the rest, but we're focusing on some of the kind of stuff that are bankable talent right now. And yeah, it's just like it's kind of the chase whenever you're trying to get a film made.
Yeah.
You're like, you gotta have money, you gotta have the actor, the leads, or the bankable talent. It's just a tough thing to put together. But
right. Business and art is so hard to mix.
Exactly. That's why I have like a few people that are helping me, and Tommy Warren's been a great mentor and kind of advisor, because he's like, it's like older guy, and he's been around. He worked at Paramount for a few years, and so he's been really great to kind of advise me.
Yeah, cool.
It's always good to have people like that in your corner. So.
Yeah, a mentor.
But yeah, we should definitely do a photo shoot, like maybe something like that. Maybe with
I like weird shit.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
My place that I love to go to is Secret Beach. I don't know why I love it.
Not secret theater related.
No, I've done secret theater like a billion times.
I've never been there before yet.
You gotta go. Maybe we should do something there.
Well, what's the secret beach you're talking about?
It's right near where I live, on Riverside. It's basically the Colorado, or whatever town lake, whatever that is. I always get confused. Is that the same thing? Or?
I think
if they change it, and they call it Ladybird, and I'm like, what? It's kind of like Man Check, where it's like you're driving down the road, and then suddenly it's something else.
Like
Maybe the river's the same way.
Same with like the green belt. I didn't realize that there's different like.
Really?
Yeah, like
I didn't know that either.
Like Bull Creek and Walnut Creek, aren't they part of the same belt?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm fucking this up. Watch.
I've shot in both of those places. Yeah, I love water. Water's just always fun. Basically, it's like you go down Faro Street, which is off of Riverside. You go down all the way to the end where the park is. Then you walk down the trail, and then there's this really good outlet to get on the river. And I've shot a bunch of stuff.
It's a beach, like sand?
Yeah, it's sandy, and then
like gravelly.
Yeah, it's a little gravelly. Yeah, it's like all the Texas kind of. But there's some sand. There's some like fine sand there too. And then I like the little islands. We shot this one video with a drone, and we were out there shooting. Actually, the guy released it literally today. Animal Abstract. He released the video today. You'll see. There's when we were shooting, we started seeing. We're like, was that water that high before? And we're like, nah, it's fine. And then we realized like where we were standing had now been, the water had flown, and we were like now stranded on this island in the middle of the river, and apparently the dam had opened.
How did you get out?
We just went through the water.
Like what was it like up to your waist?
No, it was up to our knees.
Oh, okay.
Which was still pretty bad.
Yeah, and you had all this equipment on you?
Yeah, and I was like that. Oh, you better believe I was nervous. I was really scared. And I had the drone and everything. I felt bad because I remember we kind of figured it out. So me and the artist really quickly got across, and then we look back, and it's the artist's girlfriend. And I'm like, oh no. She's the one that got the most wet because she had to go through when it had really gotten high. But yeah, I learned. I was like, man, when you go out there, you never know when they're going to turn that dam off. But that damn dam. But yeah, I like the little islands. It kind of looks cool. You can make it look, you can really make it look cool and exotic if you just go in a certain little angle.
Yeah. So. Have you been to Krause Springs? I think it's farther west though, but they have like a waterfall. Like,
see, that would be great.
Yeah, before I moved to Texas, because I'm from up north, I didn't know that Texas had very lush areas that look very islandy.
Especially here, the Third Coast. That's what all the hills.
Yeah,
I love Texas and Austin.
I love Austin.
Yeah, right.
and I go to Houston often because my brother lives there, and then basically I'm scared to go outside the big cities.
Yeah, Houston, oh man, my ex was from there. I just couldn't. I always felt like I was in like a bombed out city.
Really?
Yeah, when I would go downtown or where she lived.
Midtown or
yeah, I can't remember where she lived, but that's a kind of a nice area.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy actually, he's doing a film panel. He's a casting director. He did Pretty Baby with Brooke Shields back in the day, 70s. Anyway, he lives there, and yeah, he's doing a panel. You just reminded me. He's doing a panel for South by. Cool. Plugging everybody.
I like it though.
I'm trying to get more into that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Promotion. I mean,
yeah.
That's how you get work, and that's how you make connections and help everybody else out. And
yep.
It's a good town. There's a lot of good talent here.
Yeah. And are you still doing your podcast or no more?
The one that I was filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't had anything recently.
Oh, well, weren't you?
Oh, it was kind of like a podcast. It was called The Show.
Yeah.
It was like a live show.
But you don't do it anymore?
No, I haven't done it in 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to. I don't know. I'm open.
How many episodes
did you talked me into it. I did a lot.
Really?
I found recently, we did this one. We would have guest hosts, kind of like Saturday Night Live.
Oh, cool.
And we had a really good friend of mine, LaShonda Lester, who was a really good comedian. She passed away a couple years ago. But there's this really good interview she did with Kat Candler, who's a really good director here in town that did a thing with Aaron Paul. But you film these things, and it was before I had it. It was on a hard drive. Talking about hard drives. Thought it was lost. I was cleaning up my room, and I saw the hard drive, plugged it in, and I found the interviews. It's like, man, I should probably put some of these out, because some of these people have gone on to do really big things, you know? Because that's what you realize. You'll probably have the same thing happen. People that you have years later will go on to do something else a lot, you know? And so it's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do it again. I've actually had people approach me about it. There was this UT student that really liked, because she did the UT version of it. That was kind of like the UT version of Saturday Night Live.
Skits and stuff?
Yeah, we did skits.
That's so cool.
We had sketch comedy, stand-up comedians, and then showed short films. It was called The Show. And then we had a guest host who would do a monologue, which was always fun, because you just never knew what they were going to do.
How long was the show? Like 30 minutes or an hour?
It was like 3 hours.
What? For one episode?
Yeah, and we would just edit it down. And
oh, okay.
Our production was never great. We had some really good ones. We had one that was really solid, but it was just hard, because I put more energy into, because it was a live show.
Oh, with an audience?
Yeah, with an audience and everything. It was a whole, like, looking back, I was like, man, that was so ambitious. But the best part about it was the event and the show itself.
Yeah.
The filming was cool. It was like an added bonus, but it was really the
energy.
The energy.
Yeah.
And the people really, the filmmakers loved it, because they were like the center of the thing, and the Q&As were really funny, because we would have comedians be the host, because I love that, because it was like, when you have a comedian being a host, the interviews are going to automatically be more fun.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to take it seriously,
right.
which was what I wanted.
So what was the deciding factor to end it? Honestly, I guess I'm just like kind of getting a feel for like, how long can this last?
The money was a lot of it, but I was going to do a big hurrah. I did a thing with Tim League, you know, the owner of the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, okay.
And Tim McCandless. It was a good show, but my sister passed away. And it was supposed to be the same day that her funeral ended up being. So I had to postpone it, and I finished it. I did the episode, but that ended up being the last episode. And I was going to do another one. I had talking about Robert Rodriguez. We had talked to his people. We kept trying to go bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, because when money starts, because you need to have it to continue on. That's what killed it, basically.
The funding.
If I had just kept doing it, where it was just locals, I could have been doing it till today. But yeah, it was just kind of, and you know, the venue, we would charge ticket prices, so sometimes we'd have really good shows, and we would take that money and put it back into it. But yeah, after a while, like, we would have a couple, it would rain. That's what you learn if you do an event in Austin. If it rains, you might as well just cancel. It sucks. Because nobody comes, and it's just like, you're just like, oh my gosh, if it had just not rained, we would have had a really good, successful show. But people just don't go out in the rain. Yeah. It was at the Spider House too.
Oh, okay.
We did the Spider House ballroom.
Oh, well, probably because a lot of students like walk there too.
It was cool. I would definitely suggest, you know, trying to do the live thing. I mean, I think this is a lot more cost effective.
Yeah, that too, but I'm also like I'm not a performer. Like
theatrical kind of.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, because this is more like intimate and
like
chatty.
Sometimes, well, a lot of times, like, I try to forget that there's a camera rolling.
Yeah.
Because anxiety will kick in.
I didn't even think about it until
you
just said it.
I know. So I like producing something, editing it so it's like, you know, it's perfect, and then releasing it. I don't like that. No.
There was way too many variables.
Yeah.
And I remember we started having where our interns were always actors and actresses, and I would let them do stuff, and then I was like, I can't use any of this. They're just dropping the F-bomb like every other word. And that's something about actors. It's like, I read somewhere that's like a defense mechanism, dropping F-bombs. But I remember it was like every other word. I was like, I can't even edit this out. She's just saying F and F and F and F. And when it's live, you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't edit this out. Yeah. It'll just be like, what is she saying?
For a minute, like my eyes bugged out. I'm like, I hope I don't swear a lot.
No, I don't think you have. I know I try to filter myself.
Yeah.
I think I said shit. That was the most I usually say. No, I try to think about that.
Yeah. People have asked me, like, can I swear here? And I don't really have hopes of... I mean, it would be nice if we can get this monetized.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, at the rate that this is going, of course, it's still very new.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll, you know... I don't want to censor my guests.
Yeah, but, you know...
Because that will make
it's just tacky to yourself. But.
Yeah. It's also a bad habit for me.
Yeah.
I struggle with concealer.
Me too. I know. I try to be... It almost is good to have that thing where you're thinking... Or trying to filter yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
Timing. So, while we're... Yeah, an hour and 12 minutes. That's good.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, where can we book you? Where?
Subcreations on Instagram. Subcreations LLC on Facebook. Pretty much Subcreations, you'll find me. And then Hard Drive Noir, like a film noir.com, and that'll be up because I just got that domain. Just got to get it all in there. So yeah, check out the pages. It'll be free for now. I'm just trying to get my work out there for the novel. And then Hard Water will be very soon.
Nice.
You can see that, the film. And yeah, I really appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
This was a lot of fun.
No, thank you. I've been wanting you on here. Like,
it's perfect timing too, right before South.
Yeah. And the music part. When does that?
It starts like in the middle of the week.
So by next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right now it's filming.
Yeah, but next Wednesday should be when the music starts. So when this is released, for all you South buyers, if you need a video guy for your music, for all kinds of shit. Like, do you do like any commercials or anything?
Yes.
Either, like,
we actually have one we're shooting on the 12th.
Cool.
We're shooting this restaurant. This guy is opening this really nice restaurant up on Mopac, this area.
Ah.
Yeah, check it out.
What kind of restaurant?
It's like a bistro kind of. Really, the food looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna shoot all that food.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're around, go by and get some free food.
What's it called?
It's a opening. I should know. I'll send it to you.
Okay, no rush.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
And definitely keep in touch for our shoots.
Let's do it. That sounds great.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, maybe some water, like we were saying.
Yeah, I live right by. Well, I don't want you to come all the way up here, but Bull Creek is 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
But I can go down the secret beach and see what that's about.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot. Yeah, and I'll be around during South by too. I'm gonna have the camera.
Well, I do work downtown, so if ever, like, I get off at work at like 5. So if ever, like, you're down to do something,
that'd be great.
Just hit me up. Be like, hey, because I take the bus.
There's so many good spots downtown. Yeah. I like to shoot. I've done a lot in the Creek. I've done a lot at Driscoll. It's always fun.
See, I'm stuck here.
Yeah, that was the thing when I lived up here.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I didn't like. You had to drive all the way down. You had to do the parking. But where I live now, I could just take the bus. It's like 10 minutes, and it's nothing. Don't have to worry about parking. It's for being in the stuff. It is great to live on Riverside, but this is a much nicer area.
But once that new domain is up, then it'll be hopefully your rent will go up.
You would think so. I know. I hope my rent doesn't go up. We'll find out.
Yeah.
This is part
then you can come back here.
Exactly. No, I loved it up here. I have good memories. I used to love running. It's like a lot more hillier up here. It's fun to run up here.
Yep. There's slushies over there.
Yeah.
And if you have any places that can sponsor us,
yeah.
Maybe that restaurant.
I was going to know. There's a lot of things we could do some like cross promotion. I thought about that too.
Nice.
No, it's great. I mean, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I miss it. I miss doing that. I can definitely help you with that, any kind of promotion stuff, because I have a lot of experience from that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You can be my sensei.
Yeah, sounds great.
Nice. Well, thank you once again, and until next time. Good night. Oh, this is my new tradition. Cling, cling, cling.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Tequila.
You can reach us at fatalpodcastatx@gmail.com or Instagram @fatalappeal.